What's up, crew? I forgot to label this video as a story time. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all a story about a relationship that I had. Now, it may help some young person or it may help someone along the way. Just keep in mind when you date somebody, just keep in mind of all the attributes, all the things that you would like in a man, all the list of what you think you want in a man. But anyway, so I was in college at the time. I believe before I met this guy, I think I I met him prior to going to college. I think I met him prior to going to school. So this guy I had been dating, I think for at least a year or so. I think a year or so before I went to school. But like we lived like 6 hours apart. He lived in Atlanta and I lived in North Carolina. And so, I met him. I don't know how I met him. It's been so long ago. But anyway, I met him. And so he was Jamaican. He was a Jamaican guy. And everybody said, don't date Jamaicans. They crazy. They off the chain. You know what I'm saying? They possessive and they just off the chain. So I was like, I ain't gonna listen to the stereotypes because people say about African American people how we love chicken and how we love barbecue, how black women are so irate and we so bitter and they put us all in the category. So I ain't want to put him in a category. So dating him was good, was great. He loved to talk on the phone. Me and him would talk on the phone for hours on end, no cap. We would just talk about life. We would talk about the future. We would just talk about, just any and everything. And when he would like watch, since we were so far apart, when he would watch Super Bowls and all that stuff, he would call me and we would just talk. And I would just listen to him scream at the game and him talking to his friends. I knew all his friends and everything. And his family mostly. So I say about it had to been not freshman year. It had to been sophomore year. Had to been sophomore year. Sophomore year, um, I went to visit him. Cause I would go periodically to visit, my fast tail. I would go periodically to visit him. And he would pay for my plane ticket. He would pay for my plane. One time I did the train, and then another I did a plane ticket. But anyway, one time he did my plane ticket. He got my name all wrong. He got my date of birth all wrong, and he had lost his money, and then he had to pay for another ticket. So he was out. He was out some money and then he had to pay for it. But that was his fault because he put the ticket in the wrong person's name. He gave the wrong name and the date of birth. So that was on him. But anyway, so okay. So the first time I went to visit, everything was cool. But then it was kind of odd because you know how like you can tell when a person like is on some weed that kind of looks spacey. That's how he was looking. And then I had to give him gas money. I had to give his brother-in-law gas money to pick me up from the uh Greyhound. Oh, No, I forgot to tell y'all. I had to take the Greyhound. My bad, not the plane. I had to take the Greyhound from from North Carolina to Atlanta. Man, I hated to ride the Greyhound. Man, it's some creepy people on the Greyhound, y'all. It's some creepy people on the Greyhound. They don't be taking baths. Some of them people be on the Greyhound bus for 2 and 3 hours and they don't take no baths. They be stinking. Some of them be smelling like beer because they be drinking. They be having their beer in their bags and they be drinking and stuff. High up. They all be high up. Most of them. And then on the Greyhound, it takes so long to get to your destination. So I was going from North Carolina to Atlanta. But you know what? I must say, I met some pretty cool cats riding on the Greyhound back and forth to Atlanta. I met some cool people. I met one girl, she was a tattooist. She said if I ever want to get a tattoo, she would hook me up. She stayed in what's it? Spartansburg, North Carolina, I think, or Gastonia, North Carolina, one of the two. But she will be sniffing. You know how like a person that what's it, snort cocaine? She will be sniffing a lot. She was sniffing it all the way to Atlanta. I mean, all the way to her destination. And she told my son, her mama got some chemical, had smelled some chemical in the house that they were living, and it kind of like destroyed the inside of her nostrils. I said, the devil's a lie. Your tail was smoking some cocaine, some drugs. That's why the inside of your nose is burnt out. But anyway, so that was, I think, my first time going on a Greyhound. Yeah, it took. Do y'all know it took all night for me to go to Atlanta on a Greyhound? I hated it. It took. Okay, I left at 11 o'clock. I would always leave at 11 o'clock. It would take me all the way to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock to get to Atlanta on the Greyhound because they stop every little town to pick up people and to drop people off. It was misery. I was so ready. I said, Lord, if you deliver me, I would never get on this Greyhound. If it was not for him, I would not get on this Greyhound. So the first trip was cool. I met his family, his mom, his sister, and his brother-in-law and his stepdaddy. They all stayed in an apartment, but his mom would go back and forth to New York. So she didn't really stay there too much. And I think at the time, at the beginning, it was just him and his stepdad in an apartment at first, when I started visiting at first. So y'all young girls, don't ever do this. Don't ever be traveling for no man. Don't ever do. Not for no man. Don't try. Even if he pay for the ticket, don't travel unless you know he the right one. Unless you know that he the one. I be doing some spontaneous stuff, y'all. I be on a whim. But anyway, I be doing stuff. I started though a long time, but that was me back in the day, spontaneous. But anyway, so I was a young girl, looking for love, because I was like, maybe this might be the one. So anyway, his stepdad was cool. His stepdad, I call him my pops to this day. Me and him cool. He would talk so fast, y'all. He would talk his language and his accent, and I wouldn't understand a word he be saying, but it just be so funny. I'd be like, "Can you slow it down? Can you slow it down?" He was talk so fast, and then his Jamaican accent, I didn't understand a word. I would just pick and choose and make up stuff. I'm like, Lord Jesus, I don't understand a word he's saying. But anyway, so I stayed there with them. Now, this was the red flag that I should have picked up. Now, when I went to visit, really, they didn't even have like hardly no. They were going to get groceries, but the groceries go so fast. And you want to know why? Because both the stepdaddy was smoking weed and he was smoking weed. So the food would go so bad so fast, and then they would mix up food together, and they never stayed. Their apartment never stayed with groceries because they would eat it up so fast because they smoke weed. The son, I mean, the guy that I was dating was selling drugs. I'm gonna be upfront with y'all. The guy I was dating was selling drugs, and his stepdad was getting some of the weed, and he was just mixed up too. All them were crazy. So the first visit, him and his stepdad got into it. Him and his stepdad got into it, and he took his radio. He purchased a radio for the guy that I was dating, and then he took it. And then the guy I was dating, I mean, the stepdad was about to get the gun on the guy I was dating, and it was about to be a whole bunch of stuff going down up in it's because they both was smoking weed, they both was belligerent, they both were drinking, and they were confused. They was just getting confused. And so, he apologized. The guy I was dating, he apologized for that, because he ain't want me to be in that and see that. He said he get like his stepdad get like that sometimes when he's smoking that stuff. he, so they calmed him down and stuff. And it was glass, something had broke. Glass was everywhere. They cleaned it up. I was just standing in awe because I was like, what in the world have I gotten into? What in the world going on? So, um, then what happened then? So one time the door while I was there, one time the door had run and I thought it was them. And it was one of his friends coming in, and he was trying to escape from the police because he had a piece on him. And then, I kind of got into it with my boyfriend because he said, don't ever do that because you don't never know. So the police could, get you or raid the apartment or you could be in danger. So I said, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have done that. But that was the red flag. All this y'all were red flags. Red flags, red flag. But you young, you naive, you don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't even, your young mind don't even, he was a little older than me. Your mind don't be thinking at the same. You be naive and dumb. Young, naive, and dumb. So then, I leave. So in college, when I went back to school, he would be calling my phone constantly, like asking where I'm at, what I'm doing. He was kind of like becoming possessive. He was kind of becoming controlling a little bit because even though I was in college, I had come back. He was kind of like, just very controlling, very like worrisome. And I'm like, don't you have a job? And at the time, I didn't know that he really didn't have a job, really. It was seasonal. He had a seasonal job. All right. So I'm gonna take you to, we're gonna fast forward. We're gonna fast forward to the second time I went. Okay, now the second time I went, I think this was during like a hurricane or something. Cause it had to been during a hurricane or something because I remember staying a couple of days later, a couple of days more because of the storm. So anyway, so by this point, his mom, his stepdad, his sister, and his brother-in-law, they were all in the same apartment by this time. And so, everything was cool and stuff. But I just felt uneasy, like being there. I just felt uneasy because I was like really the outsider because they always Jamaican. They would speak their language. His sister spoke English though, and the brother-in-law spoke English. They were cool. I still call they my brothers and sisters to this day. We all family. I still call them family. His mama is my other mama. And we still cool to this day. But anyway, so I met some of his other family and stuff. I met his uncle. I met his little cousin. I met everybody. His best friends, all them. basically I knew that we were all cool. We even went to, I think it was around Christmas time, we even went to see the dropping of the peach. We all rode the metro. That was my first time riding the metro, man, y'all. That was just so scary, like riding the metro and all them people getting it off and on. Cause I'm from North Carolina. North Carolina is slow as Methuselah. Like this is like country. North Carolina is all of it compared to Atlanta, New York, New Jersey, DC. All of North Carolina is country. So when I went to the big city with the metro, like all them people getting off and on the subway and the metro and going different places and keeping up with what street you supposed to get off of, and you under tunnel underground. It was just my first time. He took me, it was me, his cousin, his best friends. We all went all together. And so it was mayhem. Like after the peach drop, everybody was running this place and that way, walking this place. He was trying to keep up with me, and he was like, "Babe, stay right here." It was just crazy. So then, um, you know, it was kind of like he would like borrow. Now I would come to visit him. Now he would borrow money from me, and he would have money, he would have money, but he would borrow money from me for different things. And I'm like, why? Now that's red flags too. I'm like, why are you borrowing money from me? And you got money in your in your tail. Like, come on now, you know. So yeah, I ain't think nothing. I'm like, woot, 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 cause his mom cooked for us while we were there at the house, at the apartment. His mom cooked and stuff. And I didn't think nothing of it. So I didn't think nothing of, all this stuff going on. And then he still, now, mind you, my boyfriend at the time, I think he had quit selling. He had quit selling drugs, and he was trying to get his GED because he didn't have his GED either. I never knew that either. That's probably why he was working a seasonal job. He didn't have his education intact. I think he left school early or dropped out. So I was helping him get his GED too. Being a good girlfriend, I was helping him do a lot of stuff. I was helping him get his GED too. So then I found his phone. And this what really was a big, big red flag too that tipped me off. I saw all these pictures of these girls and stuff and texts and stuff. That just broke me. That just really, really broke me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have no trust in him. I didn't have no confidence in him. I didn't have nothing, 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 nothing. And I didn't have it, just went away. You know what I'm saying? He would promise me, "Hey baby, when I get on my feet, when I get this, we're gonna get married, we're gonna get a big house like this and that." And no, he didn't have his stuff together. Now he had big dream, maybe eventually, but he didn't have his stuff together. So I said to myself, I said, when I get out of this place, when I get from Atlanta, I'm never coming back here again. I am never ever coming back to this right here. I said, this right here done broke the camel back. I said, this man, all this time, this is what you do. And even his sister, this was the hint too. Even his sister and his brother-in-law were like, Cree, you need to be here all the time to keep an eye on that one. You need to be here 24. So you need to move down here. They were trying to get me to move after, even him, he was trying to get me to move after college to stay with them. And I'm like, nah, sir. I said, y'all ain't gonna get me caught up. And I be paying most of these bills in here, and I be getting a good paying job, and I be paying most of these bills in here, or paying yours and mine too. The devil's a lie. That's the devil, that devilment. But God kept me from that. God be shielding us from stuff. When we be in stupidity and naive, God be shielding us from dumbness. So that broke as soon as I got back. I got back home. So then, I went and texted and I was like, this is over. We through. I don't want no parts of you. I said, you done this to me, and I don't respect you. And You know, you are not what I thought you were. So then months later, I say about a good 9 months. So I get a call on my phone and it's from him. And he's like, Cree, he was like, I need some help paying the light bill for the apartment. My mom goes back and forth to New York. And my stepdad, he ain't got no steady job. And Nikki, he said his sister and his brother-in-law has moved out. So they really ain't got no, help or whatnot. So I was like, nah. I said, nah, I can't help you with that. I said, I ain't got no money to money. I can't help you. But at the time I was staying with my parents. So I could save a little money. So I was like, nah, I can't help you with that. This time I said, let me think about it. So don't you know, God always gives you confirmation. God always gives you a signal when something ain't right. Because sometimes people be trying to use you because they be trying to use your kindness for weakness. But sometimes you got to wake up and realize how people really are, how people do. Because as soon as they be trying to get as much as whatever they want, their personal is for personal gain. They be trying to use people to get what they want. But then they don't think about other people. They be trying to use people, but you don't get blessed by using other people. But anyway, then uh okay, so he calls me again. I think to check up on, see if I change my mind, whatever. So he hangs up the phone. So I say that same day, I get a call. No, he calls me again. And so I'm talking to him about something. And all of a sudden, I could hear a female voice saying, "Who you talking to?" And then he hangs up the phone. So that's a big red flag. Y'all seeing God always, and what get me upset about him? He is so dumb. He always used to leave his phone unlocked. I said he smoked so much weed he don't even know he don't even know the game. Like, you never leave your phone unlocked. You never leave your phone around your significant other. If you trying to hide something, you always keep your phone locked or you always keep your phone turned down. Always keep a password on your phone. A password lock on your phones. But anyway, so that's how a true player do. That's how a true person do. You always keep your phone locked, always keep your phone turned down. If it ring, don't pick it up. If you're around your boo, or if you got a text, don't answer. So then I get a call that day around 1. I'll never forget, around 1 p.m. No, 1 a.m. because I had to go to work the next day. The same day, I meant. So then the young lady, it was a young lady on the phone. She was like, you been calling my man and I don't know what's going on, and blah blah. I live here with him, and I've been living over here for at least 2 years, and my kids are in Florida. And she was just going on and on and on. I can't even remember half of the stuff she was saying. She was just telling me their life history and her history, which I didn't even give a flip about because I had them first, really, but I ain't studying them because it's sorry. So, and if you staying with him, you sorry too. And then she was telling me how she helping with bills and pay this and pay that. And I'm saying to myself, why he asking me for money if he got you staying there? So anyway, so then I said she must not be paying. I said she must not be paying nothing. So anyway, so I think she had about 4 or 5 kids. I think the lady did have 4 and 5 kids. Her kids was in Florida or New York, somewhere far off. And she was in one place visiting my ex-boyfriend at the time, visiting him and staying with him for a time, I guess to get up on her feet and to get her stuff together. So then I proceeded to tell her, I don't want to. I said, he my ex. I said, he was calling me to help y'all with y'all bills. And because y'all about to get put out. And then And she was saying, "Oh, well, I help pay the bills over here. What he talking about?" And I said, "I don't know." And then she would then I said, "Well," I said, he's my ex." I said he had a lot of ways that I dislike. He was a cheater. He was possessive. He was mean. I said he didn't really care enough about. I mean, he had that. I mean, I believe he loved me, but that ain't love. To me, that ain't love. You know, that ain't real love. That's that play stuff. So, you know, that was that play stuff, y'all. Don't, y'all ladies, y'all know, gotta understand between real love and that fake stuff. Real love, you don't have to give up nothing. Real love, you ain't gotta pay for it. Real love come easy. Real love is mutual. And real love don't hurt. Real love is bliss. You know, you gonna have your good and bad days, but real love is it's a blessing to know real love. Real love is unconditional. Just it's like God's love, unconditional. And it shouldn't take nothing from you, should add to you. If that person don't add nothing to you, that ain't no love. If that person hurts you and you depressed and you feeling us hurt all the time, that ain't love. You got to get away from that relationship because that's toxic. I call that toxic love. And that's kind of what we had, like that toxic love. Hey, Flo, how you doing? So that was toxic love. So then, um, shoot, I was like, I said he was such a cheater. I said he would have women's pictures and texts in his phone and all that stuff. And I said he used to hide his phone under his pillow. And I said, I'm sorry, you have dark moon. Okay. Okay, Floor. I said, you have a I said he used to hide his phone under his pillow. I said he never locked his phone and his phone be ringing all the time. She said, yeah. She said he do that to me. Someone said, I found a lot of texts and phone numbers in his phone, and it'd be women. And that's why I'm calling you right now. I said, he do the same thing to me. I said, girl, you need to run. I said, you need to get out of this relationship because he's sorry. He's never gonna change. And you got 4 and 5 kids. I said, you got 4 and 5 kids. Um, let me remove you. Okay, let me remove you, sir. Okay. So then I said, um, I said, well, you got to get out of that relationship. I said, this is not. I said, you can't stay in this. I said, he is not going to he is not going to be faithful to you. He is not going to be faithful to you at all. So you're going to have to get up out of this relationship just like I did. You're going to have to get out of it. And so she wakes him up. After that, she hung up the phone. She fussed him out from 10 but 2. And then he, in return, called me and was like, why did you tell her that? Why did you do this and that? And what you messing up my. I said, well, why did you even call me? He said, well, she's sorry. She got about 4 and 5 kids and she don't help me with nothing. So she up here laying up on me. And she up here in one place and her children in another. So I didn't get that relationship. Later on, she added me on Facebook, but she deleted me eventually. You know, when a person found out information, they have no use for you. You know what I'm saying? When they don't really know you, they don't have no use for you. And really, I didn't really know her like that, no way. So by years later, he contacted me. Hold on, y'all. Years later, he contacted me, and he apologizes, and and he wanted me to come down for his birthday. I said, the devil's a lie. I ain't coming down for your birthday. But he has two children now. He said he ain't with his baby mom, but he has two children. I think he's a little older. I think he's maybe 5 years older than me. I forget, but it's been so long ago. But I want to tell y'all, the young ladies, don't get caught up in relationships that are toxic. Don't get caught up in relationships that you think you can't get out of. Don't get caught up in relationships that do just that don't add to you, don't benefit you. If that person is steady taking from you, if that person is never pouring into you or giving into your spirit, man, or like doing anything additional to you or uplifting you, you got to get out of that relationship. You have to get out of that relationship for yourself. If that person is possessive, they'll soon be abusive. If that person is being so possessed, they want to know what you doing, where you at, who you talking to, what you up to, want to know every move you make. But then in return, when you ask them questions, they don't never answer, or they have an attitude, or they just blatantly don't answer. You got to get away from these type of relationships, because in the end, you gonna get hurt. In the end, God always gives you a confirmation. God always gives you things that are red flags, just like he did me. I was ignoring half of the red flags, but God will always give you red flags about people that you need to stay away from, that you have to distance yourself from, that you have to get away from, that you have to use your common sense for. So young ladies, don't, and older ladies, don't be pressed to be in a relationship. Don't be pressed to be with a man. I know people who have to be with a man they can't be alone. They don't like to be single. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to be single. They like to be in a relationship. They have to have that companionship, somebody in their face all the time, or somebody, a male figure just to be around, and I don't have to have that. That ain't me. I like my space. I like my own space. I like to move how I want to move. I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I like to be free. So, you know, just be mindful. And also, too, when you have children, when you think of having children, look at the man. See if he has qualities of a good husband. See if he has qualities of being a good father. See if he has qualities of being a good husband. He may have some downfalls and some stuff he got to work on, but see if he will make a good mate, a good father. He's stable. Does he have a job? Does he have good credit? Does he have potential? Is he going somewhere? Is it how his work ethic? How's his relationship with his mother? You know, you know. I've dated a lot of mama boys. You know what I'm saying? They good providers. They good. Sometimes they can't get detached from the strings from mama, but they are good, wholesome guys that are providers, protectors, and loving. So, just young ladies, just keep in mind, y'all just pay attention to my story. Don't get caught up when you see them red flags. Go, escape. Just don't even bother. Don't even entertain the thought of being in a relationship with that type of person. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to put I love Jamaicans. I love Nigerians. I love all people. But Jamaicans, the ones that I've dealt with, are possessive and annoying. And they just will get on your last nerve. They will just try to take on your whole life. They just, you be like, man, can you get somewhere out of my face and stop calling my phone every second of the day? And if they don't get an answer, they will keep calling you because they just that possessive. If you don't answer your phone or answer a text, because they want to see what you do, because they doing some dirt that they ain't got no business. So they trying to keep up with you, what you doing. So y'all just be mindful of that. Just be mindful. Just be um just be aware of who you dating, who you entertaining, and just we all get in bad relationships. You live and you learn from them. We all getting them type of relationship that you wish you had not gotten into. You wish you never met that person. But sometimes God allows you to meet these people to get a lesson from it, to learn from them, and to get a lesson about life. Just to get a lesson about people and how they work, how they think, get a lesson how you want to be treated, and get a lesson about what you should do. Women, we have to wait for our boys. We have to wait for the man to find us. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. Now, this guy, I didn't go chasing after him. He found me. I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just get some bad apples. Now, this last one, he pretty legit, but I just be getting some bad apples. I'm like, where do they come from? Come on, where do y'all come from? Like, come on. But anyway, it's a lot of men in the sea, y'all. It's a lot of men in the sea. It's a lot of women in the sea. So just be mindful of who you pick, who you entertain, who you let into your personal space, who you give your soul to. You know what I'm saying? Just keep in mind. You know what I'm saying? Because them people will be in your life. They will have some type of connection in your life for a long haul. Even though me and this Jamaican guy don't talk, I'm still friends with him, his family. I'm still cool with his family. I call them my family. His cousins, my cousin, they all be like, Cree, what it do, what it is. We all friends on Facebook. We are friends. You know what I'm saying? We all cool. But I would never go around him. I would never go visit. If I do go visit, I be like, y'all can't tell so and so and so. Sure can't. I'm gonna be on the low. Be on the low. For real, for real. But anyway, y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay encouraged. And that's story time from Creek's Corner. I hope and pray that you learned something from my story that I told. I hope that it encourages y'all young ladies and it speaks to you and it just makes you aware and just makes you just think twice about who you get involved with, who you entertain, and who you just waste your time on, because you don't want to waste your time. Your time is precious, so you don't want to waste that. So y'all be careful. Y'all stay prayed up and y'all stay blessed. Love y'all. Deuces.